Welcome back to the final video of the day. In this video, we are dealing with the backend of the homepage of our blog website. If you remember from the last video, we made a dummy file and redirected our logins to that page. Instead, we will now redirect to the homepage. We now have our create.php file with just the front end. Just as we did in the previous video, we add some code at the beginning of the page to check if the user is signed in or not. If not of is set of session of uname or not of is set of session of dname, then we check the session variables and redirect to the login page. Now let's try to deal with the form that we have now. Let's set this action attribute to the same page by action equal to within PHP tag echo of server PHP self and its method to post, method equal to post. Next, we need to handle the data that is submitted through the form, and we also need to deal with the databases. So we copy all the database details from the previous code since it is the same. Paste it here. Now our connection is set up. Previously we had a table to store all the user information. Now in order to store the block details, we need a new table. Let's create that. Go to our databases blockdb and go to the SQL tab. Write the syntax for creating the new table. Create table. Let's set our table name as blocks of and its columns are, first one is ID, integer data type. So obviously it's primary key and it should be auto incremented. Then new name and its data type is varchar. Next dname and it is also varchar. For a block there will be a title and a content. So let's add two more columns. Give the field name as title and its data type is also varchar. And next field is content, data type also varchar. But the size should be bigger since the contents will be very long. So let's give it as 10,000. We set the constraints and data types for these fields. Now let's execute the query. Click the go button. A table has been created with the table name as blocks. We can make use of this table in our code now. We retrieve the title, content and user details from the submitted values and the session variables. Title equal to post of title. Content equal to post of content. And both the session variables, uname and dayname. We do this to insert the block content into a database. We need an insert query for that. The query is as follows: SQL equal to insert into blocks and the table fields values uname, dname, title, content. End it with semicolon. We execute the query with MySQLi query statement. MySQLi underscore query of conn, SQL. Once it is done, we redirect the web page to the index page. Let's check out the output. We log in with the user details. We are now at the home page. Now let's try to create a blog and check if the code works. Let's enter a title and a blog content. Let me type something random. Let me give title as my first blog and content as this. I am now clicking on the post button. It is now directing us to the index page. As you can see, all this is empty because we did not handle the backend of our index page yet. Let's come back to this later. Now, the only part that left for us is our home page, that is index.php. In the index page, we add the same default session handling code at the beginning. First, let's remove all the duplicate div elements. In this page also, we need to deal with the database. So, we copy the database credentials and set up a connection. In the home page, we need to display the blogs that the user posted. So, we fetch the blog entries from our database. We can do it with the select statement. Since we need the recent blog first, we order them by descending. We execute the query. Now it's the time to display these blocks on our home page. Since we need to duplicate the same code for multiple entries, we put the common code inside the loop. We copy the common div element and echo it. We now make the changes and replace the data that we fetched from the table. We replace the username, display name, title, and the blog content. Let's check out the page now. As you can see, the blog that we previously created is being displayed in our home page. Previously, we added a button to create a new blog and we didn't add any functionality to it. We add an onClick attribute to redirect it to the create page. OnClick equal to, can use the attribute location.href equal to create.php. Let's check out the changes now. Go to web page and click the button. We are now in the create page. Let's create a new blog. Let me type something. Once we click the post button, we are now in the home page and our blog is being displayed at the top. We are now almost done with our website. Let's try to view these blogs as a different user. Let's log out and log in again. And let's log in as a different user. As you can see, we are now in the home page and the blogs are visible. If you notice in the nav bar, we forgot to mention the display name on our site. Let's change it now. We just need to replace it with the display name that is stored in the session variables. Let's now check it out. Now it's working fine. Click the create new blog button. Oh, looks like we forgot to add the display name here too. Let's change that. Finally, let's create a blog now from this user. Obviously, this message is for you. We are now done with the course videos. You might have learnt a lot over the last 5 days, but if you really think you can do a lot with this. Okay, once you get used to it, the flow, it becomes really easy. There is a lot more in web development. We recommend you to explore more, and we hope you become a successful web developer. In case you have some doubts and wish to rewatch the videos, you can find these videos in our channel. At last, thank you everyone, and for the last time, happy learning.